This is our final warning. If the contract isn't fulfilled, the state of Arizona will decommission this town permanently. The ultimatum from the governor's office was sharp and absolute. To everyone watching, the project in Oasis Point was just another empty promise, destined for failure. But then, the unbelievable happened. Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, the entire Middle East was singing the praises of an American company. Please, help us, they had pleaded. Even titans of engineering from France and Germany had declared the task impossible. On the very land they had abandoned, how did a small American team achieve a miracle in just 48 hours? The shocking truth is about to be revealed. My name is David Miller. For the past 5 years, I've been the Water Resources Manager for the Al Shaman District, a sun-scorched corner of northern Arizona we just call Oasis Point. I'm no legacy rancher or tech billionaire, I'm just a regular public servant, and my life is a living hell. Every morning, I'm wide awake before my 4 a.m., alarm even has a chance to buzz, my stomach twisted in a knot over the day's singular, agonizing question. Will I find enough water? I have to. For my 10-year-old daughter, Nora, and my wife, Sarah, washing my face is a luxury I can't even dream of. I pour a thimbleful of water into a cup, dip a washcloth, and wipe my face. Brushing my teeth uses a single gulp, a full shower, maybe once a month, and it can't last longer than 5 minutes. Daddy, I'm thirsty, Nora whispers, her voice raspy, her lips cracked and dry. 20 liters, that's our family's entire daily allotment, just enough to drink and for the most basic survival. The curse of our land began 80 years ago. The geology here is unique, a subterranean labyrinth of porous rock that acts like a sponge, soaking up saline water from an ancient underground seabed. The deeper you drill, the more salt water rushes in. I heard my granddad say there was fresh water here once. My colleague, Saeed, sighed one afternoon. Back then, they got greedy, drilled too deep. They breached the barrier to the brine aquifer. Now, there's no fixing it. Every Tuesday is water ration day. We have to line up before dawn. Even the water from the state's desalination plant has a faint, salty taste, and even that isn't enough. We often have to buy from the black market at $50 a gallon. This is more expensive than premium whiskey, I protested. It was $40 last week. The black market dealer just shrugged, shameless. Demand is up. You don't like it, you don't have to buy it. But I had no choice. Half my paycheck goes to water. That evening, Nora came home from school and collapsed on the floor. Nora, Nora! No matter how many times I called her name, she didn't respond. Her face was pale, her lips a faint shade of blue. We called for an ambulance, but it took 40 agonizing minutes to reach the hospital. That wait felt like an eternity. Severe dehydration. We need to get her on an IV immediately, the doctor said, his face grim. She's not the only one. We've had over 20 dehydration cases today. If this continues, it's going to be catastrophic. In the hospital room, watching the saline drip into Nora's small arm, my heart shattered. It was my fault. I couldn't even provide my daughter with a clean glass of water, and this was the result. David, my boss, Director Evans, walked into the room. The French company just pulled out. They gave it 6 months and gave up. Failed again? I asked, my voice hollow. Dozens of companies had tried and failed in our district. The United States, Germany, Japan, Israel, they all came boasting about their superior technology, only to be defeated by our cursed geology. We're a cursed land, David, Director Evans said bitterly. Maybe it's time to just give up, relocate everyone. But I couldn't give up. This was my home. This was where Nora was born. That night, I climbed to the roof of the hospital and stared at the starless sky. It was as dark and empty as our future. God, please give us water, I prayed. What have we done wrong? Why do our children have to suffer like this? Only the dry desert wind answered my prayer. A week later, Nora was discharged, but the doctor's warning still echoed in my ears. She might not survive another episode like this. She needs clean water, urgently. On the drive home, an unexpected report came on the radio. It was about the Ha'il region in Saudi Arabia. An American tech company had created a river in the desert. A region that had suffered from water scarcity for 60 years was now a thriving agricultural hub. Nora's eyes lit up. Daddy, can we ask them to help us? My heart sank. I didn't want to give her false hope, to see her disappointed again. Nora, our land is different. It's much harder than Saudi Arabia. But I didn't know then that a miracle was coming for us too, and it would arrive in a way that was beyond our wildest imagination. After that day, news from the Ha'il region of Saudi Arabia was relentless. Every time we turned on the TV, we saw it. The Al-Hajar River, created by an American company called Terraflow Technologies. A crystal-clear stream flowed through the barren desert. The image was surreal. In the heart of an arid wasteland, water sparkled. Children were playing in it. Farmers were irrigating their fields. "Is that really Ha'il?" my wife Sarah asked in disbelief. "Yes, the Ha'il we know," I replied. "Their situation was just as bad as ours. In fact, we're a wealthier country. But now, it's the complete opposite." The office was buzzing with the news. Terraflow Technologies? My colleague, Rajat, scoffed. Never heard of them. Probably some Silicon Valley startup with more hype than substance. "But they're experts in agricultural technology," Saeed interjected. "What does agriculture have to do with complex geology? They're two different things." "But the evidence is undeniable," I said, holding up a printout. "I've seen the official data released by the Saudi government. They're producing 100,000 liters a day, desalination rate of 99.9%. And the company's name, Terraflow Technologies, is written right here." A few days later, I was summoned to a high-level state government meeting. The meeting was chaired by the Secretary of Water Resources herself. "You've all seen the success in Saudi Arabia," the secretary began, her expression stern. "Do you know what our citizens are saying? They're asking if Arizona is inferior to Saudi Arabia." The room was dead silent. We all knew the uncomfortable truth. Weren't we the world's leading technological powerhouse? Why couldn't we do what they had done? No one had an answer. The secretary pointed at me. "Miller, you're in charge of Oasis Point. What's your take?" "Madam Secretary, our geology is fundamentally different from Saudi Arabia's. Our bedrock is." "I don't want to hear excuses," the secretary snapped. "Saudi Arabia failed for 60 years. This American company solved their problem. Why can't we do the same?" The pressure was immense on the drive home. The state wanted results. The people were desperate for water. That night, as Nora did her homework, she asked, "Daddy, where is Terraflow based?" "They're an American company, honey, based out of Colorado." "Are they a big company?" I pulled up a map for her. "They're a mid-sized, specialized firm, not one of the giants." "How can a company like that have such amazing technology?" "I'm wondering the same thing, sweetie. What's their secret?" The next day, there was shocking news. Director Evans flew to Ha'il, Saeed whispered to me. He went to see it with his own eyes. He says it's real. That afternoon, I met with Director Evans. His expression was a mixture of awe and bewilderment. "David, I saw it myself. It's a genuine miracle." "What was it like, sir?" "Unbelievable. There's a river flowing through that barren land. Kids were swimming in it." He took a deep breath. "But you know what's even more incredible? The Terraflow team got the first water flowing in just 2 weeks. 2 weeks? I stammered. "Yes. The Germans spent 2 years and failed. The French spent a year and gave up." The director showed me a photo on his phone. It was a group of American engineers with Saudi officials. That's the team lead, Dr. Arisara Vance. They call her Ari. She looked unassuming, a practical woman in field gear. "She looked so normal," I remarked. That's what the Saudis thought at first, too. They underestimated her. Now, they treat her like a hero. Suddenly, my phone rang. It was the secretary's office. "Mr. Miller, the secretary will see you tomorrow morning. A major decision will be made. Please be prepared." My heart pounded. Could it be? Were we finally going to ask Terraflow for help? I got home and told my family. "There's a big meeting tomorrow. It looks like they might invite the Terraflow team." Nora's eyes sparkled. "Really, Daddy?" "We don't know for sure, but our geology is special. It's much more difficult than Saudi Arabia's. The chance of failure is very high." Sarah took my hand. "But we have to try, don't we?" For Nora. I couldn't sleep that night, torn between hope and fear. What if Terraflow failed too? What if our last hope was extinguished? I looked out the window at the full moon. The same moon was shining over Ha'il. But tonight, they could watch it without worrying about water. "Please, God, give us a chance," I prayed silently. If Saudi Arabia could do it, we had to be able to do it too. No, we must do it. I tried to reassure myself, but a deep unease settled in my stomach. A premonition of how much our national pride would be tested. and what drastic choices that pride might lead to. The next morning, when I walked into the secretary's office, there was an unexpected group of people there. It wasn't just high-ranking state officials. A small team of unfamiliar faces sat at the conference table. "David, this is the team from Terraflow Technologies," the secretary introduced. "And this is their team lead, Dr. Sarah Vance." I was surprised. Dr. Vance was a woman with short hair and glasses, looking to be in her early 40s. She was of average height, with a calm, focused demeanor. "Hello, Mr. Miller. A pleasure to meet you," she said, her voice clear and direct. "Dr. Vance, you understand our situation?" The secretary got straight to the point. "I've analyzed the geological data for the Al-Shaman district," she replied. "And what's your assessment?" "Doctor." Vance pulled out a tablet. "To be blunt, it's 3 times more difficult than Saudi Arabia. The saltwater intrusion is far deeper." The faces of the officials in the room darkened. "So you're giving up?" one of them asked. "No," Dr. Vance smiled faintly. "I said it's difficult, not impossible. A region in Thailand, Ban Kun Thian, has a similar geological profile. We solved that problem." "How long would you need?" the secretary asked. "Saudi Arabia took 2 weeks." Everyone in the room held their breath. "Here, 48 hours should be enough." "What?" The secretary shot up from her chair. 48 hours? You said it's harder than Saudi Arabia, but you need less time? "We've developed new technology since then, Madam Secretary. A system for tracking subterranean fracture networks. It's more precise and much faster." A senior official laughed derisively. "Just more empty words. They all come in confident like this. Then they fail and run away." "Doctor," Vance's gaze was steady. "Then let's make a wager. If we fail to produce potable water within 48 hours, Terraflow will cover all operational costs and accept a 10-year ban on all state contracts in Arizona." A murmur went through the room. "But if we succeed," she continued, "we expect to be compensated fairly, and we demand your complete trust and cooperation. Skepticism and interference are just a waste of time." The secretary looked at me. "Miller, as the man on the ground, what do you think?" Honestly, I was terrified. 48 hours was insane. But looking at Dr. Vance, I felt a flicker of hope. "I think we should take the chance." "All right, but on one condition," the secretary said, looking directly at Dr. Vance. "You must succeed within 48 hours. If you're even 1 minute late, your team will be escorted from the site immediately." "Deal," Dr. Vance replied, without a moment's hesitation. After the meeting, we drove to the site. In the car, I asked her, 48 hours? Really? Is that even possible?" "Mr. Miller," she said, "do you know what we learned in Saudi Arabia?" "What's that?" "That the timeline isn't determined by technology. It's determined by trust. The Saudis trusted us completely. The question is, will Arizona?" It was a heavy question. When we arrived on site, the Terraflow team began working immediately. As they unloaded their equipment, I noticed it was more advanced than what they had used in Saudi Arabia. "What's that?" I asked, pointing to a sleek device. "Subsurface penetrating radar," a young engineer named Ben Carter replied. 10 times more accurate than the Japanese model. "And yes, it's designed and built in the USA," he added with a proud grin. As they set up, the local townspeople started to gather. "Another foreign team," someone muttered. "This time, they're Americans. How many days will they last?" The stares were piercing, hardened by too many disappointments. They didn't dare to hope anymore. Nora came by after school. "Daddy, are those the people from Terraflow?" "Yes, sweetie." "Why are there so few of them? The other teams had dozens of people." Dr. Vance overheard Nora and walked over. "Hello there. What's your name?" "Nora." "That's a beautiful name, Nora. You know, a big team doesn't always mean a better team. What matters is skill." "Doctor." Vance pulled something from her pocket. It was a granola bar. "Here, try this. It's from Colorado." "Thank you," Nora said, accepting the bar shyly. "Ma'am, will our town really have water?" Dr. Vance gently patted Nora's head. "You wait 48 hours, sweetheart. I promise I'll make sure you can drink all the clean water you want." Hearing those words, I felt a warmth spread through my chest, but also a surge of anxiety. Could she really do it? After sunset, the work began in earnest. The Terraflow team was prepared to work through the night. "Mr. Miller, could you get us some strong coffee?" Dr. Vance asked. "Of course," I replied, "but even coffee is a luxury here. Water is precious." I know, she said, her eyes twinkling. But soon, we'll all be drinking as much as we want. Her confidence was staggering. They hadn't even started drilling, yet she was certain of success. Dr. Vance, I said quietly, why 48 hours? It seems like an impossible gamble. She looked up from her monitors. Mr. Miller, sometimes desperation is the best motivation. The pressure of a 48-hour deadline forces absolute focus. The first night began. I checked my watch. 8 p.m. Exactly 48 hours remaining. The countdown of destiny had begun. The first 12 hours were spent on geological surveys. The equipment the American team brought was working nonstop. David, come look at this. Ben Carter, the lead engineer, called me over around 3 a.m. On the screen was a complex graph. What is it? At 150 meters deep, look here, there's a unique geological void. I peered at the screen. The color was different from the surrounding areas. Could it be a freshwater lens? Not sure yet, but it's a strong possibility. Dr. Vance walked over. She had been up all night but showed no signs of fatigue. Found it. Just as I predicted. Predicted what? The geology of Arizona isn't just a simple sponge. It's a shattered labyrinth. And somewhere in that labyrinth, pockets of ancient freshwater are trapped. It was an astonishing insight, something we hadn't figured out in decades, she discovered in just 12 hours. But there's a problem, Ben said grimly. The freshwater lens is completely surrounded by brine. One wrong move, and it will all mix together. Dr. Vance nodded, which is why this requires the precision of a surgeon. Just then, a state government inspector showed up. Found anything yet? He asked in a condescending tone. We're currently analyzing the data, I said. 12 hours have passed, and that's all you've got? Looks like another failure in the making. The inspector chuckled and walked away. The faces of the Terraflow team hardened. Don't pay him any mind, Dr. Vance encouraged her team. Let's focus on our work. 6 hours later, they were creating a 3D map of the subsurface. It was a task that required a complete understanding of the underground structure. Incredible, I breathed. The 3D model on the screen was so detailed I could see the flow of water currents within the labyrinthine rock formations. David, do you happen to have a map from 80 years ago? Dr. Vance asked. An 80-year-old map? Yes, I think so. I retrieved a dusty, old map from the town archives. Dr. Vance compared the old map with her 3D model. Her eyes lit up as if she'd discovered something. That's it! See what? 80 years ago, this spot was a natural oasis. It must have been fed by a freshwater source. Now, it's just sunk underground, with a layer of brine on top. But deep down, it has to be there. 18 hours had passed. They finally began drilling, but a group of government officials rushed over. What are you doing? You can't just drill wherever you please. This is a precisely planned operation, Doctor, Vance replied calmly. But the officials blocked their way. We need to review the permits first. Stop all work immediately. You said you'd finish in 48 hours, but now you're telling us to stop? This is ridiculous. An argument broke out. Time was ticking away. I stepped forward. As the on-site manager, I authorize this. If there's a problem, I'll take full responsibility. Miller, can you really handle that? I'll sign a personal guarantee. The officials reluctantly backed down. Doctor, Vance gave me a grateful look. The drilling resumed. 50 meters, 100 meters. The deeper they went, the more tense the atmosphere became. Hold on! We're detecting moisture at 120 meters, Ben shouted. Everyone held their breath. They brought up a sample. A small amount of water was extracted. Dr. Vance tested it with a portable meter. Salinity, 0.3%. Still brackish. We need to go deeper. Despite the disappointment, there was still hope. At least it was less salty than seawater. 24 hours had passed, exactly halfway through. Still no clean water. The townspeople started gathering. Another failure. I knew it. We're a cursed land. The negative whispers grew louder, but the American team remained unfazed. Boss, you should get some rest, a team member said with concern. But Dr. Vance shook her head. No, there's no time. Just then, Nora appeared, holding something. Dr. Vance, please have this. It was a small box of cookies she had made. We don't have much water, so I couldn't make many. But I hope this gives you strength. Tears welled up in Dr. Vance's eyes. Thank you, Nora. They look delicious. The Terraflow team shared the cookies. A smile appeared on their tired faces. Nora, Just wait a little longer, Dr. Vance said. I will get you that clean water. Dr. Vance's promise made Nora smile brightly. 30 hours had passed. Finally, there was a change. The salinity is dropping steadily, Ben shouted excitedly. 0, 1%, 0.05%. We're close. Everyone gathered around the monitor. Each time the number dropped, a cheer went up. But then, a problem arose. Boss, the brine pressure is too high if we don't install a barrier. I know, but we only have 18 hours left. Installing a conventional barrier takes at least 12 hours. We can do it, Dr. Vance said firmly. With the new technology we developed, a rapid-set polymer barrier. Another incredible technology. What else did these people have up their sleeves? Suddenly, my phone rang. It was the secretary. Miller, what's the situation? We're close, Madam Secretary, but time is running out. If they fail, you're finished too. You know that, right? The pressure was immense, but strangely, I wasn't afraid. Watching the Terraflow team, I was convinced these people were different. They were going to succeed. 10 p.m., 38 hours into the operation, 10 hours remained. The American team moved with astonishing speed. Barrier prep is complete, initiating rapid set injection. This new technology was incredible. They injected a special polymer that reacted with the salt water in the rock fissures and hardened rapidly. How is this possible, I asked. It's a technology we co-developed with a leading marine research institute over 5 years. When it comes into contact with high salinity water, it fully cures in under 10 minutes, Ben explained proudly. 2 a.m. They reached a depth of 150 meters. Everyone held their breath, waiting for the results. Starting pressure test. Dr. Vance opened a valve herself. At first, nothing came out. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Then, a clear drop of water began to drip. Water, someone shouted. Dr. Vance caught the drops in her trembling hands and placed them on the salinity meter. 0.001%. 0.01%. Pure freshwater. A roar of celebration erupted. But Dr. Vance remained calm. Not yet. We need to confirm it's sustainable. 3 hours later, they measured the flow rate. It was astonishing. As time passed, the volume of water increased. 2,000 liters per hour. 30,000 liters. 50,000 liters. The numbers were unbelievable. How? I asked, bewildered. It's the pressure differential. The barrier is holding back the salt water, so the pressure from the freshwater lens is naturally pushing the water up. 5 a.m., the first ceremonial taste test. I was the first to drink. I lifted the glass with a shaking hand and took a sip. Sweet. It's sweet. It was the first clean, sweet water I had tasted in 80 years. I started to cry. Nora, where are you? I woke up my sleeping daughter and brought her, still drowsy, to the wellhead. When she saw the gushing water, her eyes flew open. Daddy, is that real water? Yes, honey. Drink. Nora cautiously took a sip. Her eyes widened. Daddy, it's so sweet. It's really sweet. She jumped up and down with joy. Seeing her, I felt all the hardship had been worth it. The news spread like wildfire. Even though it was the crack of dawn, townspeople started gathering. Is it true? We really have water? For the first time in 80 years. Old-timers drank the water and wept. This is the taste of water I remember from my childhood. God has heard our prayers. But the elation was short-lived. Another problem arose. The government inspectors arrived at dawn. What is this? Who authorized you to distribute water freely? There's clean water. The people should be allowed to drink it, I said. It hasn't been officially tested. What if there's a problem? Will you take responsibility? They wanted to cordon off the area. No, Dr. Vance stepped forward. This water is perfectly safe. I guarantee it. And who are you to guarantee it? I am a certified water safety inspector for the World Health Organization. Dr. Vance showed her credentials. The inspectors were taken aback. Even so, procedure is procedure. Are you going to talk about procedures in front of people who have been thirsty for 80 years? Dr. Vance's voice was powerful. Water belongs to the people. No one can stand in their way. The inspectors finally retreated. 8 a.m. The secretary arrived on site herself. Her expression was complex. Did you really do it? See for yourself, Madam Secretary. The secretary took a sip. Her eyes widened. This is water from our own land? Yes. and it's a sustainable source. Sustainable? Dr. Vance showed her the data. This freshwater lens is vast. If managed properly, it can supply all of the Al Shaman district. The secretary was speechless for a moment. Then she said, "I apologize for ever doubting you. I am truly sorry. It was the first time I had ever seen a high-ranking official bow their head." "It's all right," Dr. Vance said. "What matters is what comes next." She looked at her watch. 36 hours have passed. We have 12 hours left. "What's the plan for the remaining time?" I asked. "We need to stabilize the system and prepare for expansion." Then, she looked at Nora. "I kept my promise. From now on, you can drink clean water every day." Nora ran and hugged Dr. Vance tightly. "Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Terraflow is the best." Suddenly, my phone rang. It was my wife. "Honey, I saw the news. Our town has water." "Is it true?" "It's true," I said, my voice thick with emotion. "We don't have to worry about water anymore." My wife started crying on the other end of the line. By noon, something amazing happened. The townspeople came out on their own. "We'll help too. We can't let the Terraflow team do all the hard work." The men helped move equipment. The women prepared food. "This is a family heirloom. It's a 100-year-old water jug. I've always wanted to fill it with real, clean water," an elderly woman said, bringing an old clay jug. Dr. Vance filled it for her personally. "Ma'am, from now on, you'll be able to drink water like this every day. God sent you to us. Thank you." That afternoon, something even more incredible happened. "Boss, the flow rate is still increasing. It's over 100,000 liters per hour now," Ben exclaimed. Everyone was stunned. It was 5 times more than they had anticipated. "The underground structure is more complex than we thought. It seems there are multiple interconnected freshwater lenses," Ben explained excitedly. 6 p.m., 46 hours into the operation, the media descended on the site. Reporters from national news networks to Al Jazeera were there. "How did you succeed in 48 hours? Arizona's conditions were worse than Saudi Arabia's, yet you did it in less time." Dr. Vance gave an interview. "Technology is important, but what's more important are the people. It was possible because the people of Oasis Point trusted us and helped us." "What are your future plans?" "I want to spread this technology throughout Arizona so that no one ever has to suffer from water scarcity again." 8 p.m., exactly 48 hours. The secretary made an official announcement. "The technicians from Terraflow Technologies have fulfilled their promise. No, they have exceeded their promise." Thousands of people gathered in the town square roared, "Terraflow, Terraflow, Terraflow." The chant echoed through the desert night. Dr. Vance's team, though exhausted, looked happy. "I guess you can finally get some sleep now," I said. "Not yet," Dr. Vance laughed. "This is just the beginning. The real work starts now." That night, for the first time in my 45 years of life, I took a long, hot shower. As the water cascaded over me, I thought, miracles do exist. And this one came from Colorado. The joy of success was short-lived. 2 days later, an unexpected attack began. "It's a fake. Terraflow is deceiving us." The accusation rang out during a town hall meeting. A powerful local businessman, Jedediah Jed Stone, was leading the charge. "Think about it," he bellowed. "Something that couldn't be done for 80 years was done in 48 hours. Does that make any sense?" "But the water is real. We've all tasted it," I countered. "That's just a trick. They secretly buried a freshwater tank underground and are just showing it to us now." Though it sounded absurd, some people were swayed. That's right. In Saudi Arabia, it was good at first, but then problems started. "They're probably after our mineral resources." The rumors began to spread. I went to see Dr. Vance. "There are rumors like this circulating. How are you going to handle it?" "I expected this," she said, surprisingly calm. "It's natural for people to fear new things. If that's the case, we'll just have to prove it with data. We'll make everything transparent." The next day, Dr. Vance made a bold decision. She had a real-time monitoring system installed in the town square for everyone to see 24/7. "You don't have to go this far," I said. "Trust is paramount. We have to prove that we have nothing to hide." A large screen was set up in the town square, displaying the water quality and flow rate in real time. But Jed Stone wouldn't back down. "The numbers can be faked. We need to inspect the facility ourselves," he incited, demanding a full audit. Dr. Vance accepted. "Come anytime. Come and see and verify with your own eyes. The inspection committee arrived, with Jed Stone leading a team of 30 people. We're going to check every nook and cranny. The Terraflow team opened up everything. They even showed them the technical blueprints. This is the schematic for the polymer barrier, Ben explained. But Stone wasn't listening. You made it complicated to deceive us. Suddenly, Nora appeared. Mr. Stone, why are you doing this? The water is real. Stay out of this, little girl, Stone snapped at her. Nora's eyes filled with tears. My mom cooked with clean water for the first time. She said it was the first time in 80 years. But why? Don't fall for their manufactured lies. Stone remained stubborn. Then, Dr. Vance stepped forward. Mr. Stone, what are you really worried about? What? Do you really think the water is fake? Or are you afraid of something else? It was a sharp question. What is there to be afraid of? Change, she said softly. The order that has existed for 80 years is about to change. It hit a nerve. Jed Stone was the one who had profited from the water crisis, controlling the black market and maintaining his power. What do you know? I know that my home state of Colorado went through something similar, Dr. Vance said calmly. But only when we embrace change does real progress begin. The atmosphere grew tense. Stone's followers threatened the Terraflow team. Get out of here, you charlatans! Suddenly, an incredible thing happened. Old Man Hemlock, the town's 95-year-old elder, appeared. That's enough, Jedediah, he said, his voice frail but firm. I've seen enough. Mr. Hemlock, you've been deceived too. I've lived for 95 years. You think I can't tell the difference between real and fake? Old Man Hemlock slowly walked to the well, took a sip of water. This is real. This is the water I drank as a boy. Then, he looked straight at Jed Stone. And I know all about how you've been monopolizing the water, making a fortune off our suffering. It's time for it to stop. It was a bombshell. Jed Stone's face turned beet red. You think I don't know that half the water from the state rations ends up in your private tanks to be sold back to us? You're afraid of this real water because it means your business is over. The crowd erupted in murmurs. These people, Old Man Hemlock said, gesturing to Dr. Vance's team, they don't want our money, they just want to help us. He looked at Dr. Vance. Thank you so much. The tide had turned. The townspeople began to denounce Jed Stone. So you've been cheating us all this time, profiting from our thirst. Jed Stone and his followers were driven out of the town square. That night, I received a call from the government. Mr. Miller, the secretary needs to see you urgently. When I arrived at her office, there was another surprise. The governor of Arizona was there. The governor is personally interested in this matter. He's coming here tomorrow, himself. It was astonishing news. The head of the state was coming himself. I rushed to tell the Terraflow team. We would give him the highest honors. Late that night, I told Dr. Vance the governor was coming. It's a great honor, she said calmly. You're not nervous? Why should I be? We just did the job we were hired to do. She was an incredible woman. The next morning, another crisis. Boss, we have a system anomaly, Ben rushed over. What's wrong? Someone tampered with the equipment last night. It has to be Jed Stone's men. The governor is on his way. What do we do? Can you fix it? It will take time, Ben said, but the entire Terraflow team mobilized, working feverishly to repair the damage. For 4 hours, they worked non-stop. Just as the governor's convoy arrived, they finished. The atmosphere was thick with tension. So, this is the Terraflow team? The governor asked. Yes, sir. The governor walked up to Dr. Vance. I heard you performed a miracle in 48 hours. We just applied good science, Governor. Just then, the newly repaired system roared to life, and water gushed out. The timing was perfect. The governor took a cup and drank the water himself. Astonishing. It's perfectly clean. He shook Dr. Vance's hand. On behalf of the people of Arizona, thank you for helping us. It's an honor, Governor. The governor then made an announcement. From this day forward, I declare Terraflow Technologies to be the state of Arizona's strategic partner in water technology. It was a historic moment. That night, news came that Jed Stone had been arrested for sabotage and destruction of property. It felt like justice had been served. A sense of relief washed over me. Mr. Miller, Dr. Vance called to me. Tomorrow, the real work begins. Are you ready to change the entire state of Arizona? Absolutely, I replied, a wave of hope surging through me. A new era was truly about to begin. Following the governor's visit, The situation changed rapidly. The state government pledged its full support, using Oasis Point as a pilot project to launch a large-scale expansion program. But just 1 week into the project, we faced an unthinkable crisis. At 3 a.m., an urgent call came in. "David, it's bad." It was Ben Carter's frantic voice. "What happened?" "Equipment failure. The main pump just seized." My heart stopped. If the core of the system failed, the entire water supply could be cut off indefinitely. When I arrived on site, the situation was dire. The water had stopped completely. The town was in a panic. Dr. Vance was conducting an emergency inspection. "What is it?" I asked. "There's a foreign object in the pump. It looks like it was deliberately inserted." It was the worst-case scenario. "What do we do?" "If we can't repair it within 36 hours, we'll have to replace the entire system. That could take months." 36 hours. Another race against time. "What do you need?" "Replacement parts, and..." Dr. Vance hesitated. "We need help from the locals, people who understand mechanics." But the townspeople had fallen back into despair. It failed again. "See, we really are a cursed land." I ran to the town hall. "Everyone, it's not over yet." "What's not over?" "We trusted them. Let's keep trusting them. They can fix it in 36 hours, but they need our help." "What can we do?" Suddenly, Nora stepped forward. "I'll help," she declared. "Dr. Vance hasn't given up on us. We can't give up either." The courage of a 10-year-old girl shamed the adults. "The kid's right. If she's fighting, how can we give up? Let's give it a shot." Volunteers started stepping forward, one by one. The Terraflow team and the townspeople joined forces and began to work. "Hand me that wrench. I need the spare part over here." Even though they spoke different technical jargons, their hearts were united. 12 hours later, they hit their first obstacle. "Boss, the damage is worse than we thought. We don't have enough spare parts." "What do we do?" Dr. Vance thought for a moment, then made an incredible decision. "We'll forge new ones, with local materials." "Local materials? Is that possible?" "Arizona is an industrial state. There must be something we can use." A local man stepped forward. "I own a metal fabrication shop. If you need anything, just tell me." Another said, "I've been a mechanic for 30 years. I can probably help." It was amazing. The skill of the local technicians was outstanding. They collaborated with the Terraflow team and managed to create the necessary parts just in time. 20 hours later, Dr. Vance discovered something. Here it is. This is the cause of the problem. Deep inside the pump, she found a piece of sharpened metal. It had clearly been placed there deliberately. It was the last desperate act of Jed Stone's loyalists. "But we've won," she said. "Now, we just need to reassemble it." Everyone worked together to put the pump back together. 24 hours later, "Let's try a restart." Everyone stepped back. Ben flipped the switch. A low hum, then a roar as the machinery came to life. Everyone held their breath. 30 seconds. 1 minute. 2 minutes. "We have water." Water burst forth, with even stronger pressure than before. "We did it!" A huge cheer erupted. People hugged, cried, and laughed. "This repair actually made the system more robust," Ben explained excitedly. "We might be able to produce over 200,000 liters a day now." It was an incredible outcome. 30 hours later, a government inspection team arrived. "The signs of sabotage are clear. We must catch the culprits." "That's important, Doctor," Vance said. "But this incident has proven something more vital. It's proven that when Americans work together, we can overcome any crisis." The head of the inspection team nodded. "Agreed. Now, we will push the nationwide expansion project with even greater conviction." That night, the village held a spontaneous celebration. "We did it. God bless America." Old Man Hemlock gave a speech. "Today, we learned another lesson. Crisis builds stronger unity." The next day, there was astonishing news. The state government announced the establishment of a joint U.S. International Water Technology Research Institute right here in Oasis Point. The whole town was ecstatic. A research institute means jobs. Our young people will come back home. Dr. Vance approached me. "David, would you be interested in the position of deputy director?" "Me? We need someone with field experience who can be a bridge between the scientists and the community." It was a dream offer. A week later, Dr. Vance's team had to return to Colorado. Hundreds of people gathered at the local airstrip to see them off. "Come back soon," My daughter says she's going to go to college in Colorado now. During the farewells, Nora ran up to Dr. Vance. Ma'am, please take this. It was a handwritten letter and a drawing. It depicted a blue desert created by the people of Terraflow and Oasis Point working together. Thank you, Nora. Doctor, Vance said, her eyes misty. You have to become a great scientist, okay? I will. I want to be just like you. Watching the plane take off, I thought, the 36-hour crisis actually made us stronger, and the real miracle is just beginning. The 36-hour battle was over. After the system was stabilized, Dr. Vance's team, in the final 12 hours of their original 48-hour promise, did something astonishing. Now, I'm going to show you the real gift, she said with a smile. You haven't even recovered yet, I said, but you're already back on site. What else have you prepared? A smart water management system, she announced. It will be the first of its kind in Arizona. Additional equipment the team had brought was now being installed. Solar panels, automated sensors, a remote control system. What is all this? From now on, you can monitor the water status via your smartphone. Artificial intelligence will manage the system automatically. It was a moment where 21st century technology was solving an 80-year-old problem. 45 hours had passed. The system was complete. Now, try downloading this app. The townspeople installed the app on their smartphones. They could see the water quality, volume, and system status in real time. Wow, this is really our town's water? Nora touched the screen in amazement. Nora, try pressing this button, Dr. Vance suggested. Nora pressed a button on the tablet, and a fountain in the town square sprang to life. Wow, I did that. It was the first fountain in the village in 80 years. Children cheered and gathered around it. 46 hours had passed. Then, something even more amazing happened. This is a special gift, Ben said, bringing over a large box. What is it? A hydroponics starter kit. You can grow vegetables using only water. Agriculture in the desert was something we had never even dreamed of. Tomatoes, lettuce, cucumbers. You can grow them all, Dr. Vance demonstrated. Just add a little nutrient solution to the water, plant the seeds, and in 2 weeks, you'll see sprouts. In 2 months, you can harvest. The townspeople's eyes sparkled. We can eat vegetables we grew ourselves? Absolutely. From now on, Arizona can be an agricultural state. 47 hours had passed. They prepared for a final event. David, everyone, Dr. Vance took a microphone. We are about to witness a historic moment together. A large screen lit up, showing a map of Arizona. With the system we've built, we're going to run a simulation. Blue dots began to appear on the map. Each dot represented an area that could be supplied with water. In 1 year, 50 locations. In 3 years, the screen filled with blue. The entire state of Arizona could have clean water. I could barely breathe. What I thought was impossible was unfolding right before my eyes. Suddenly, an urgent call came from the government. Mr. Miller, the governor wants to video conference. The governor's face appeared on the large screen. My fellow citizens, and the technical team from Terraflow, listen carefully. 48 hours ago, we were half believing, half doubting. But now, we have witnessed a miracle. His voice was filled with emotion. From this day forward, I officially established the Arizona Terraflow Joint Institute for Water Technology. It was a stunning announcement, and I invite Dr. Arizona Vance to be its first lead advisor. Dr. Vance was stunned. Your state needs you, doctor. Please, join us on this journey. The townspeople shouted, please accept, stay with us. Dr. Vance, with tears in her eyes, nodded. It would be my greatest honor, Governor. 47 hours and 45 minutes. 15 minutes remaining. Dr. Vance prepared a small ceremony. We're going to put this bottle of water into a time capsule. On the clear bottle, today's date was written. In 10 years, we'll open it and see how much we've progressed. Nora raised her hand. I have something I want to put in, too. She brought out a letter. It's a letter to my future self. I'm promising to become a water scientist. Other townspeople brought mementos, one by one. A handful of dry earth, an old water jug, and messages of hope. Just as the 48-hour mark was reached, they buried the time capsule. What will this place be like in 10 years? Dr. Vance asked. It will be a green farm. The lake will be full. There will be parks everywhere. Everyone spoke of dreams that no longer seemed impossible. That night, a grand celebration was held. National news broadcasted it live. the 48-hour miracle, a legend. Forged by Terraflow and Arizona, the world took notice. Dr. Vance's interview was broadcast. Technology is important, but the most important thing is people's trust. It was possible because the people of Arizona believed in us. What are your future plans? To make Arizona the hub of water technology for the entire world. And, she looked at Nora, to nurture the next generation of scientists. They will create the real miracles. The celebration lasted until dawn. Traditional American folk music blended with modern beats, barbecued brisket and corn on the cob were on the same table. We toasted with glasses of clean water, a luxury we hadn't had in 80 years. The next morning, an incredible sight appeared. "Boss, look at this!" Ben called out excitedly. Tiny green shoots were sprouting around the fountain. "Where there is water, there is life," Dr. Vance said, deeply moved. A week later, it was time for the Terraflow team to leave. Thousands of people gathered at the airstrip. "Don't go. When will you be back?" The farewell was emotional. Dr. Vance took a microphone. "We are leaving, but the technology and our friendship remain." Then, she looked at Nora. "We'll see each other again soon, at the Research Institute." People waved non-stop until the plane disappeared from view. Thank you so much." After that day, Oasis Point was completely transformed. 150,000 liters of clean water flowed out every day. Hydroponic farms were built. Children played happily in the water. But the biggest change was in the hearts of the people. They had learned that nothing is impossible, and the true power of cooperation. The 48-hour miracle had become an eternal legacy. 6 months have passed. My morning now begins by looking at an incredible sight. The view from my window is no longer a barren desert. There's green everywhere. The laughter of children is a constant sound. "Dad, we have a hydroponics lab at school today." Nora leaves for school with her backpack, full of excitement. The child who collapsed from dehydration 6 months ago now runs around full of energy. The school has completely changed. A science lab, sponsored by Terraflow, has been built. Every week, there's a video conference class with top scientists. Today, we will learn about the water cycle. A professor from Caltech begins. Nora sits in the front row, listening intently. On my way to work at the new institute, I see a remarkable change. The first hydroponic farm is about to have its first harvest. In a clear plastic greenhouse, tomatoes, cucumbers, and lettuce are thriving. "David, look at this." Hal, the farm owner, shows me a ripe tomato with pride. "We grew this ourselves, a tomato grown in the desert." I take a bite. It's sweet and juicy. "I can't believe we grew this," Hal says, his eyes tearing up. At the institute, we have a big meeting to review the progress of the statewide expansion project. So far, the system has been installed in 15 locations. I look at the report, amazed. Within 6 months, the entire northern region of Arizona is free from water scarcity. What about the Joint Research Institute? The grand opening is next week. Dr. Vance will be here herself. That's great news. Then, another piece of news. We've had official visit requests from Kuwait and Bahrain. Really? They want to learn from our success story. Arizona has become a model. It feels like a dream. During my lunch break, the town square has a new look. Cafes have sprung up around the fountain. People are sipping iced tea and chatting. Before, a single drop of water was precious. Now, we can sit here, drink iced tea, and watch a fountain. This must be what heaven is like. It's a happiness 80 years in the making. In the afternoon, a special guest arrives. "David, long time no see. It's Ali Al Saud, a friend from Saudi Arabia. I'm in charge of the Ha'il region. We've come to learn the secrets of your success. Saudi Arabia is coming to learn from us. Arizona is now ahead of them. That smart system, we don't have anything like it yet." I feel a surge of pride. I also visit the new industrial park. Companies have started investing here because of the stable water supply. We've created 300 new jobs, the economic development official explains. Young people no longer have to leave their hometown because there's no water. In the evening, Nora's school has a presentation on the theme, "The Miracle of Our Town." Nora gets on stage. 6 months ago, I collapsed from dehydration, but now she presents with confidence. The teachers from Terraflow didn't just teach us technology. They taught us to have a heart that never gives up. After her presentation, Nora gives a greeting in Thai, a nod to Dr. Vance's past projects. She says, "Kob Kun Krab," and adds, Foam Rock Prothet Thai. Even though her pronunciation is off, you can feel her sincerity. When I get home, my wife has prepared a special dinner. What's the occasion? Did you forget our wedding anniversary? I had. I was so consumed with worrying about water that I had forgotten the small milestones of life. Now, they have meaning again, she says. And look at this. She shows me a flower pot. A small flower is blooming. The first flower we grew in our home. A flower that bloomed for the first time in 80 years. After dinner, the whole family goes for a walk. A new riverwalk has been built along a man-made stream. Dad, can we swim here? Nora asks. Not yet, but soon there will be a real swimming pool. Really? Wow! Nora runs ahead excitedly. Suddenly, my phone rings. It's Dr. Vance. David, how are you? Dr. Vance, it's great to hear your voice. I'll be there next week, but I have some special news for you. Nora applied for a science camp in Colorado, and she's been accepted. I'm stunned. Really? She'll get to learn advanced science for 2 weeks, all expenses paid. I tell Nora. She jumps up and down with joy. I'm really going to Colorado? Will I get to see Dr. Vance? Can I visit the research institute? That night, before bed, Nora says, Dad, I have a dream now. What is it, sweetie? I'm going to study in Colorado and become the world's best water scientist. Then, I'm going to help countries in need, like in Africa. It's a huge dream for a 10-year-old girl. You can do it. I believe in you. I look out the window. The sky is full of stars. The sky I used to look at with resentment now seems full of hope. I open my phone and look at a picture from 6 months ago. The parched land, chapped lips, desperate faces. Then I compare it to a recent photo. Green fields, smiling faces, flowing water. Miracles are real, I whisper to myself. The alarm clock will ring soon. Tomorrow morning, I have to prepare for a meeting on the expansion plan for the southern part of Arizona. It's time to share what we've learned with other regions. Before sleeping, I look out the window one last time. The fountain shoots up towards the sky. The drops of water, sparkling in the moonlight, look like stars. It's a sight I couldn't have imagined 6 months ago. And this is just the beginning. The real miracle is about to start. 3 years have passed. I am now the Deputy Secretary of Water Resources for the state of Arizona. Outside my window, I see the transformed skyline of Phoenix. Mr. Secretary, Nora Miller is here. The door opens, and an elegant young woman walks in. Nora, now 13, has just returned from a prestigious exchange program at a science magnet school in Thailand. Uncle David, Nora greets me playfully. How was Thailand? It was amazing. Look at my certificate. I won first place in the National Youth Science Competition with my water purification technology. The judges were shocked that a middle schooler could come up with such an idea. I am so proud. And here, she says, is a letter of recommendation from Mahidol Wittayanasorn School. I want to study there for high school. Dr. Vance recommended it too. Dr. Arasara Vance is now the director of the joint U.S. Thai-Qatari Research Institute, traveling between the 3 countries. Congratulations! This afternoon, we have a special event, the 3rd anniversary celebration of Arizona's water technology innovation. The event is filled with representatives from countries all over the Middle East: Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Jordan, Oman. Ladies and gentlemen, the MC begins. 3 years ago, a dream that was said to be impossible became a reality. On the big screen, images show the transformation from barren land to lush oases. Today, Arizona has achieved 100% clean water supply nationwide. 500 hydroponic farms are in operation, creating 5,000 water-related jobs. Every number is a miracle. Dr. Vance takes the stage as a special guest. Do you remember 3 years ago? A bold 48-hour challenge. Everyone smiles, but we did it. It was a victory for technology and for trust. Suddenly, a surprise announcement is made. The state of Arizona has decided to provide water technology support to 10 African nations, free of charge. Thunderous applause erupts. I take the stage to explain. It is now our turn to share the help we received, just as our partners have done for us. And there's more special news, Dr. Vance continues. An International Water Technology Institute, jointly established by the US, Thailand, and Qatar, will open next year. Young people from all over the world can come to study here. Nora's eyes sparkle. The future she dreamed of is becoming a reality. After the event, I meet an old friend. David, You've become an agricultural exporting state now. It's Hal, who now runs a network of 50 farms, exporting produce throughout the Middle East and Asia. Congratulations, I say. It's all because of the water, and because of Terraflow. In the evening, I go back to Oasis Point. It's still 7 years until the day we promised to open the time capsule, but today, we are burying a new one. This is a time capsule for future scientists, Nora proposed. The townspeople gather. Nora puts her research notebook inside, filled with future water technologies, imagined by a 3-year-old girl. In 20 years, let's see if I've made this dream a reality. Other children put in items representing their dreams. I will be a water robotics engineer. I will be a specialist in greening the desert. The children's dreams have grown bigger. This is the greatest gift, Dr. Vance says. In 20 years, you will be changing the world. When you open this capsule then, I hope you remember this day. After burying the capsule, Old Man Hemlock, now 98 but still strong, speaks. I have lived for almost 100 years. What I've learned is that water is life, and friendship is eternal. Just like the friendship shown between our nations. On the late drive back, Nora asks, Uncle David, can I really go to study in Thailand? Of course, we will fully support your dream. I want to be like Dr. Vance, a scientist who solves water problems all over the world. You can do it. You've already started. Passing by the airport, I see a new sign, the Arizona-Thailand-Qatar Friendship Bridge, a symbolic name for a new era. When I get home, my wife is waiting. I saw the news. I'm so proud. This is just the beginning, I say. There's still so much to do. Before bed, I look out the window. Where the first fountain erupted 3 years ago, there is now a small park named Miracle Garden. My phone buzzes. It's a message from Dr. Vance. A team from Kenya is arriving tomorrow. It's time for us to share the miracle we received with them. I text back, we're ready. Let's create a new miracle together. The 48-hour challenge became a 3-year success. Now, it has become an eternal legacy that is spreading outward. The miracle of water forged by international cooperation was not an end, but a new beginning. A friendship as clear and eternal as flowing water. This incredible story is not just about finding water. It is a message of hope, showing that when we discard prejudice and challenge the impossible, anything can become a reality. Right now, all over the world, American technology and sincerity are creating miracles. This is why we should be proud. If this story moved you, please share your thoughts. Your support is the greatest encouragement. We will continue to strive to bring you more stories that are both swift and accurate. Thank you.